Excellency, fathers, brothers, sisters, ladies and gentlemen, we have come together to bid farewell to the last Italian Jesuit missionary in Sri Lanka, Father Vito Perniola, S.J. With him, a legacy comes to an end. The variegated life of Father Vito took him not only to different lands, but also led him to serve in the different ministries. Father Perniola was born in the city of Bari in Italy on 10th April 1913. He was the fifth of 9 blessed children of Michele Perniola, father, and Lucia di Gregori's mother, of which 2 of them are priests and 2 others were nuns. His parents were landowners and owned the townhouse in which they resided during their school days. On 10th April 1928, at the very tender age of 15, he entered the novitiate at Villa Melagrinis in Naples to start his religious training as a Jesuit priest. After the initial formation, he was sent as a missionary to Sri Lanka and sent to South India on 30th of December 1932, where he had his philosophical studies in Sevsevana, South India. After his philosophical studies in 1936, he sat for the London matriculation examination, focusing on English language, mathematics, Italian, Latin, and Greek. For his regency work experience, he was sent to Elpitia to be in charge of the boys, where he also taught English language and religious knowledge. At the same time, he was studying Pali and Sanskrit for the University of London intermediate examination. And in 1940, he graduated from the University of London with a BA Honours on Oriental languages. Pali and Buddhism as main subjects, and Sanskrit and Hinduism as subsidiary subjects of the degree. Mind you, this is 20 years before the Vatican II, when other religions were looked down as pagan religions. This only shows his great desire to be integrated into a culture, a religion, and land which he had chosen to serve as a missionary. After his graduation, he joined the papal seminary in Kandy for theological studies and was ordained a priest on 21st of November 1943 by His Lordship Bishop Laudadio S.J. After his ordination, he served at Deniaya as an assistant parish priest, and from 1948 to 1955, he worked as a teacher at St. Aloysius College, Gaul, where he taught Ceylon history to the senior classes and Pali for those students studying for the HSC examination. In 1949, April, he became the rector at St. Aloysius College till 1952. From 1952, he began continuing the study on the history of Ceylon of the Catholic Church, which was initiated by a great historian, Father S.G. Pereira S.J., which eventually became his life mission and took him to several lands in search of documents pertaining to the history of the Catholic Church. In this task, he printed a new edition of the history of the Catholic Church in Ceylon, which focused on the life of St. Josephus, which was reprinted even recently. This only shows that this was not equaled even now. In 1955, Father Perniola joined as a lecturer at Aquinas College, Colombo, where he lectured Pali for the intermediate and final year students of BA Honours degree of the University of London. And his Pali grammar was reprinted even a few years ago by the Pali Text Society of London. He earned his PhD in linguistics from the University of Pune in 1964. He was awarded in 2013 the prestigious Royal Asiatic Society Medal for Scholarship, given once in several years. He served as chaplain to St. Luke's Guild of Catholic Doctors Association in Sri Lanka, actively contributed as a member of Senate of Priests in Colombo in 1968, and prepared the clergy for the National Synod of 1968. In 1972, he was appointed provincial, whereas in the year 1974, he was elected to take part in the 32nd General Congregation of the Society of Jesus. Continuing his research and publication of the documents of the history of the Catholic Church in Ceylon from 1982 to 1989, he was also assisting at St. Mary's Church at Lewella. His great contribution to the history of the Catholic Church in Ceylon, he has documented 3 volumes on the Portuguese periods, 3 volumes on the Dutch period, and 13 volumes on the British period, which have become source books for anyone studying the history of the Catholic Church in Sri Lanka. Generally, this type of documentation is undertaken by institutions and carried out by a group of researchers, which Father Perniola single-handedly carried forward and accomplished for years, even supporting the work financially by the contribution of his friends and benefactors. Along with this monumental work, he also contributed articles of short meditations every month to the Messenger of the Sacred Heart for years. Later, these meditations were published as booklets. Praying with Scripture in 1978, Touching the Divine in 1979, Abiding in Love in 1984. And these booklets have gone into several reprints. If that were all to be said, that would be a great injustice to Father Perniola's life and ministry. To use the traditional terminology, he was a father of souls. He had given numerous retreats and recollections, guiding one and all in the ways of God. Priests and women religious alike flocked to him in hundreds for years for spiritual direction, and he had been a confessor for bishops, priests and religious, dispensing God's forgiveness and merciful love. May I dare to say, he was a man for others, a man of God.
Longing for peace, the world is troubled. Longing for hope, many despair. Your word alone has power to save us. Make us your living voice. Christ be your light, shine in our hearts, shine through the darkness. Christ be your light, shine in your church gathered today. Longing for food, many are hungry. Longing for water, many still thirst. Make us your bread, broken for others, shared until all are fed.
And so, my brothers and sisters, this is the faith that sustained Vito Perniola. Like so many other provincials said that he is the last of the Italian missionaries. A whole galaxy of them come to our minds. Catalano, Vecchioni, Battaglia, Stefanizzi, Vito Perniola, so many men of pioneering spirit, men who came to this land of ours out of love for Jesus and out of love for our people, who spent themselves. As we bid farewell to Father Vito Perniola, we remember all of them with great love and gratitude.